All right, welcome back everybody to BCS Italy. Let's hope this is working. No promises. We'll see. I suppose it's all being recorded just in case this doesn't work. Of course, we got in the background. We got the presentations happening, as well as the judges explaining how the tournament's going to work to everybody here. So, of course, as you guys would have seen, we have about 160 players here today, which is a huge amount. So we're looking at 7 rounds of Swiss, followed by top 16, effectively. But don't forget, with the seasons don't go anywhere, because at top 32 are looking to be getting a Dragon Empire PG. So what's probably going to happen is I'm going to probably go back to the Standing Soon screen in just a moment, as the pairings are just about to be announced. And as soon as they are, I'm going to bring the players over. We've got a pretty exciting Grand Blue variant for you guys coming up in round 1. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Any issues, let me know in the chat. We've done a couple changes, so we might have a couple audio issues. If we are, please let us know. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Take care, guys. All right, guys, and welcome back to, well, I suppose welcome to BCS Italy. For round one, we've got Haroon here on an interesting build of Night Bros, actually, facing against Fated King, who's, interesting enough, on the brand new Jeweled Magnus.
So first of all, we don't have a projector, as you can see. We will not be displaying the time. So we will be going around with some QR code. If you want to take a picture of the QR code, those will be the timers. So you will be allowed to have one phone per table with the timer.
There you go, guys. Sorry, we're going to be getting a little bit of audio back to the background because a lot of the players need to be hearing a lot of the announcements, especially with regards to timers, since they aren't visible as you can hear. So there's going to have to be a separate timer here for the players. So, of course, Fated King on the right, Haroon on the left, and they're going to stand up the Vanguard with Fated King going first by the looks of it. There you go. So for everybody who's kind of been out of the loop for a little bit, yes, it is correct. You heard right. Jeweled does indeed have a new form.
That some of you, or maybe all of you, have received the side event tier pack. So we are
on the other side.
Going to distribute an extra.
Ooh, Haroon going with the offensive here.
To every one of you. So you will get 2 packs.
You're going for the end. That's going to be a front coming out of Fated King. And 16 with a trigger to hit, no guard, followed by, unfortunately for Haroon, a Ghost Chase here, and yeah, suddenly a cycle there. So this build has actually been popularized by Cormac back in BSF Manchester. One of the most interesting things about this build of Night Bros is that it stops trying to kill your opponent and decides that the way to win is to deck your opponent out and to continuously build big fronts, boards made of big fronts. Effectively, the idea becoming that your opponent will eventually run out of the shield because each front demands 45k shield out of your opponent's hand in order to counteract. And you're basically just gambling your opponent will eventually just not have it.
Players, so
in the meantime,
30 minutes. This is the first round. Good luck to every one of you. Stand up.
So of course, please remember that of course this matchup has a separate timer. So any sort of information you hear about timers relates to other players as opposed to our feature table. Meanwhile, the interesting thing with Jeweled here is it seems to have a lot more consistency in the existing Jeweled builds. And I mean, Set 11 isn't out for us yet. Of course, sneak peek's happening this weekend. So if you're around, please do check out your local game store. They're really are the lifeblood of this community, so do attend and try and, score a couple pieces ahead of the new set's release. But until then, we are going to be primarily running Jeweled Ignis. So you're going to be looking at the new Grade 3. If you're pushed to 4, you might drive check, but you're also going to be looking to go into the Grade 4 and try and tank out your opponent. So this is very much a matchup of two decks that try and play the long game. But I think Haroon might be a little bit favored here because, unlike Ignis, it keeps popping the pack row, but Haroon doesn't care, does he? A lot of his things are hollowed. They're going to die. He has no real interaction to the front row, and Haroon's scaling is, frankly, just better. When it comes to the short game, maybe you can argue that Ignis has the upper hand for a turn or two, but this is a deck that's very much going for the deck out plan, and so by the end of it, Haroon just outscales his opponent. And you can see she's already trying to push him to 3 because you could try and play that game, or you could just try and kill them beforehand, which seems to be what he's trying to do here. Yeah, you can see the 3-0. But also, this is also a stage where Jeweled, because of the new Ignis, which, for those of you that were here for Vienna, welcome back. We did manage to fix our overlay, but unfortunately, he is running a 0 main deck Jeweled Ignis. Ignis effectively says that when he attacks, it's the same effect as old Jeweled, except, Soul Blast 4 of different grades. Your opponent's power go to 0 instead of 1, which is important. If your opponent's grade 3, it gains a crit, but if you either Persona Rogue this turn or are at 4 damage, you can choose one of his archetype. I think it's a Demonic Jewel Dragon, and give them and they're able to then perform drive checks for the turn. But I think your opponent's grade 3 locked first, so it's like a go in second locked card. And then you just go into Ignis and just pray. But yeah, with the new Lithogo restander, you are then able to sort of restand really aggressively, even if you're going first, like in this case. So for example, proceeds to go 28. Haroon goes, yeah, sure, that's fine. And then Folklore resolves because, of course, he drove the Lithogo earlier this turn. He has to draw one more card and pass over to Haroon to see him liberate the Generation Zone and continue to stride. There you go. Shows us the Soul Blast 1, top 7, 1 to hand, 1 to drop zone. The Columbard special, if you will. Yep, inland golf to hand, inland golf away, and inland golf for stride. Again, you'll notice that this build of Nairos is really, really focused around guarding really efficiently, constantly generating shield value, and effectively building bolts from nothing and just generating a lot of hand. You see, he just continuously place a lot of fronts that are just big shield, puts things to soul so you can spam in long goal for effects, and try and spiral as much as you can off of that.
Right.
Right. Yeah, sorry about that one, guys. There we go, yeah. Haroon's going to be showing us the big Obadiah and the top 5 mil. Of course, we're going to be CB1, reviving the bone. Again, this is a deck out game. And Haroon is then going to be able to utilize some of the Cristiano support that Cormac popularized in order to be able to bot tech pieces back later on in the game, including PGs. So a lot of PGs and triggers going around, and this is going to presumably, if Haroon doesn't start checking triggers, go a fairly long way. There you go. That's going to be reviving the Inlong of Soul Blast 1. Again, such a tight resource loop. And that, yeah, there you go. Straight to the hand for the Marauding Shade. Oh, maybe not. Thinking about it? Probably a Marauding Shade here now. Yeah, that's a Marauding Shade to hand. So again, you're able to convert all of this. So when the new Soul fronts, they go to Soul, and that Soul then becomes an extra card in hand. So again, really, really tight. I'm a big fan of this. Like, it plays just differently enough to how Grand Blue is traditionally played that I've been really a big fan of how this has been kind of panning out, we should say. That's going to be a critical trigger as well coming out. It looked like he said, no, I showed him a PG. Again, much safer, feeling much, much safer at this stage. And yeah, Haroon's just thinking where to put it. And if that's just another front, it's just that easy, baby. It's just that easy. God, 48. So yeah, that's where the crit went as well. And is Faded King really going to consider going to 5? No, burning 2 PGs on first stride. That's got to be a scary position to be in. Ooh, and he's cutting a Tizcar. Yeah, apologies for the lag there, guys. We couldn't quite do anything about that today. But, you know, unfortunately, one of the constraints of locations. But no, that is really unfortunate for Faded King here. Burning 2 PGs this early, before Haroon even started really scaling, can be really scary. But that's just the power of fronts. Fronts will just do this to you. Because the thing with that 48 is, if you're Faded King and you're sitting on, you know, a nice, cool, calm 4 damage, you're 13. You're going to need 40k shield. That's 3 cards out of your hand. And, you know, especially at the stage before you've really started farming, that can be really, really scary. It's not only 3 cards, but 3 triggers. And yeah, I don't think because Tizcar is only the 5, I don't think you're risking dropping then another 5 and then 2 triggers. You're risking it just a little bit too much if it doesn't pan out. Yeah, Ignis and will pull out. And the Folklore, of course. So for anybody who's not been around for a while, and, you know, maybe missed a recent wave of support, look what we've got coming back. We've got Lethal Gore coming back. And his effect is on place. If you're on Jajul, you can Energy Blast 3, draw a card. And when he attacks, if you have 4 or more different grades in Soul, he gains 10k. And then when you Soul Blast 4, if you can counterblast 1 and stand him. So he's like the old Rocker Gore, but he also draws you a card, and the 10k goes live a little bit earlier. So it's not big. It means that you have a couple more restander, but if there's anything we learned about Jajul, is you can never be asking for too little. Again, the deck can always do just enough to pressure people. And of course, Haroon is going to be showing us that Ghost Chase. Bouncing his Inlog off the hand, so of course now he has Stride Folder for next turn. Again, one of the interesting things, we've also been seeing a couple lists. I don't know how I feel about it though. Trying to run like 1 or 2 Magnolia Elders in the deck, so that when you bounce the Inlog off, they become 15k shields. But I think that's trying to spread the deck just a little bit too thin, in my opinion. So I really like where the list is currently. There you go, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Remember that for the purposes of Ignis, any Jajul Soul Blasted can be regarded as any grade. So it's a very, very efficient fixer, especially later in the game when you start seeing things. Counterblast 1, Vorpal into Soul. Because he stood nothing yet, he stands the Ignis, and then Counterblast 1 to stand the Lethal Gore. Of course, there's going to be swing for 28. Pops his back row. Everyone's going to say PG. 2 of us can play that game. And he's going to go first check. That's going to be yellow over trigger. Phenomenal card here. Again, slightly punished by Haroon not dropping a real shield here. PG is the only thing that yellow OT doesn't really get around. But yeah. Shows him, yeah, pops the 1. Shows him 1, 2, and 3. If he just hadn't been Alvina gone, it would be 4 cards. Second check, going to be ladder, and third check. Unfortunately, third check is going to be. I didn't quite. I believe. Don't quote me on that. You know, I believe it's been this guy. I think. Don't again. Yeah, at the end of it, the tire draw. So again, these are really interesting decks because it's a matchup for like 2 decks with very healthy hands generally, and ones with like quite efficient numbers and retire. So yeah, there you go, and Haroon's going to immediately start flipping roses. Because yeah, the thing is, when you're on putting your opponent on 4 damage this early, kind of what's the purpose of, not trying to just go for game every turn, right? Because the thing is, like, on 5 attacks a turn, eventually your opponent's going to have to take something, right? You just can't be playing that passively, and it's going to be super, super scary, and your opponent just eventually has to concede something. And maybe in this case, that something's the game, right? Who knows? But man, just think, seven rounds in top 16. If that's how the first round goes, I know some really, really cool decks in the room today. I'm really excited to show them to you guys. We might be making a surprising amount of buddy fighters in this room, so I'd love to bring a couple of those to you guys. If people are interested, we'll see. Speaking of, have people been pulling for the buddy fight set? More appropriately, did you pull a buddy fight rare? Thank God, the ace unit comes out and the Inlog of, again, farming so much hand. And yeah, that PG in the back row means that Haroon is able to just intercept from back row and just get a free PG early on before his opponent starts retiring things. Yeah, first swing is looking to be what, 23? Oh, sorry, 28. I'm assuming if he's giving us a front. Oh, 35. That's scary. Takes it, goes to 5. It's a critical trigger. Again, as good a time as any for a defensive. Swings. That's going to be a counterblast 1. Pop to revive 2. And we're going to be swinging with a crit at our opponent and see if that's enough. The thing is, Faded King showed us his OT. Can Haroon show us his? That's the thing, like, unfortunately for Faded King, with 2 PGs already out, it really makes you wonder how much can he really do here, right? Oh, he can do 1 more apparently. 1 more check. That's a bone. That's a crit. Of course, it's just that easy. Everything will be unlocked off in 3rd check. That's going to be another front. Do you ever get a feeling of deja vu? But chat, if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? That's looking to be what, 35, I think? 40? Oh no, 43, 40, yeah, 40. God, jeez. We call these le big numbers. And that's unfortunately going to be game with Haroon taking round 1 of BCS Milan. Oh, Italy? Milan? Oh, we'll go Milan. So guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to be queuing up round 2 straight away. Well, not straight away. It's going to be a few minutes break. I'm going to try and work on the transitions in the meantime and go around picking out a deck for you guys. So don't go anywhere. Stay safe and stay tuned because we'll be right back. See you in a few minutes, guys. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to temporarily just be hanging out here. We might be a little bit quiet during the rounds. I know we've got, unfortunately, just a piece of cloth separating us from the players. So it's going to be a little bit, we're going to have to be a little bit quieter than usual just so they don't hear us. Unfortunately, just one of the restrictions that comes with certain venues. But besides that, I want to say a huge thank you to the staff. I want to say, I'm going to say the name of the place. I'm just going to dodge it for the time being. But obviously, huge shout out to Ricardo for helping us organize, as well as all the Italian community for turning up. Genuinely, we did not expect this event to be as big as it is, so it's been really, really cool seeing that obviously as the Italian format kind of slowly died out over the past couple of years, watching a lot of the players transition over to the, I suppose, more international community has been really, really good and really reaffirming to see. It's really, really nice seeing the game grow. And I'm repeating myself a bit. It's a bit impromptu. I know that a lot of you guys have kind of tuned in, so thank you to everybody who came from a different fight stream. I hope you guys enjoyed the WGP happening of this weekend. I know that he was restreaming it all night, so thanks for turning up. Unfortunately, we had to stop the Twitch stream because the signal is just, it's good enough to sustain one just about, but a bit too rough to sustain two streams. So we'll just probably stick to it for the time being. If the Wi-Fi magically fixes itself, we're probably going to go, actually we're probably not going to do the multi-stream today. I think that's probably going to be something we're going to be a bit more vigilant about in the future. It's sometimes a bit hard to predict how the internet is going to respond throughout the day. So it's just a case-by-case basis. We're going to have to kind of learn as we go along at the end of the day. But obviously, everybody who comes in, thank you for choosing to spend your weekend with us. I know it's a lot of time. It's a long event. And yeah, I just want to ask how everybody's doing. Welcome everybody slowly. I know everyone's been slowly coming in over the rounds. Obviously, round one we had Drajuld versus Night Rose. So everybody who missed it, look forward to when the live is fully up. Or you can just, one of the benefits of stream, I know Twitch recently introduced scrolling back, but it's for subscribers only. But in YouTube, it's just a feature. So I'm kind of prioritizing YouTube at the moment. So if there's ever any confusions or people want to watch back a couple games, maybe you walked away for 5 minutes, you got a coffee, went to the bathroom, and you want to sort of catch up and see what you missed, do consider scrolling back a little bit on YouTube and see what happened. But yeah, obviously, this is the last format of the set 10, last event of the set 10 format. Set 11 comes out next week, so we're going to have new Prison, new Vivace, and most importantly to me, new Heroes and new Jiva. So it's going to be a big shuffle. There's going to be a lot of new decks entering the metagame, a new Chorus Terrain as well, new Youthberg support. So when February happens and we're going to finally get the Nebula Knights order, there's actually a pretty good case to be made that Youthberg becomes a meta threat again. So who knows, maybe Alex wins World again. Who knows? For Standard, it could really be anybody's guess. So stay tuned, play your games and see how things pan out. And guys, what's going to be happening is over the next few minutes, we're going to be continuing with round 2. So we're probably going to take a small, well, not even like a break. Actually, no, whatever. We'll just stick around. We're vibing. We got a couple more minutes till the end of the round. I think it's about 2 or 3 more minutes, and the round will be ending. And then it's going to be calling for time. So when they call for time, we're going to take a little break. I'm going to grab a quick drink ahead of the next round. And then it'll be 5 minutes until round 2 begins. So kind of within the next 5 to 10 minutes, we're looking at. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in just a few minutes. Take care, guys. All right, welcome back, everybody, to round 2. We're going to be transitioning right over to the main fight screen. Let me readjust how we're going to be doing the microphone a little bit, just because we're going to have to get around the fact that there is only a bit of fabric between us. And of course, there's going to be round 2 between Matt and Una. So, again, one of, let's call it Kairi's strongest soldiers versus one of Shiranui's greatest champions. And it's going to get to go kind of back and forth, actually, going forward. So you get a GG, things you love to see. Oh, they're going to be fist bumping each other. Let's just double check that the camera is all well connected. There we go. Sorry for the technical difficulties there. We're going to have to check that one in just a moment if this keeps happening. So, again, apologies. Experienced a little bit of technical difficulties. The Wi-Fi can be a little bit spotty. So even though the white connection is wired, unfortunately, continuity camera can sometimes rely a little bit on the network. And yeah, we're going to get to see Matt going first, riding the Sedna, followed by Una riding his Crest Generator. Yeah, immediately shows us that 3 energy. And again, Nui's one of those decks that kind of keeps getting hit, but keeps getting back up. It's a deck that kind of keeps adapting, keeps finding new lines, new ways of playing that just keep reinventing themselves. Definitely one of the most interesting decks to see again. Yeah, there you go. It's an OT to pass, and he shows the front. Yeah, and we're going to get to see the complete relentless aggression coming out from Una's side. You're just hoping to get to drown these moments before they get to let swim. Yeah, rides the Aqua. Energy Charge 3 shows us the center Soul Blast 1. I think it's top 5 for a Mermaid, I believe? Top 7. Top 7 for a Mermaid. Let's see what we can find, because Kairi's one of those decks that's actually very fortunate in that basically the whole deck is Mermaids. So you're able to, there you go, and you're going to get to search out the brand new support card, one of my personal favorite cards out of this kind of entire wave of Kairi support. Because she came out in, I want to say set 8 as well, alongside the new Kairi. She was like the main, call it grade 3 support card. And we're effectively looking at, sorry, at Apolale, I believe is how you pronounce the name. So it's on place if you're on a Mermaid. You counterblast 1, and you top 7 for a Mermaid. Actually, you jump to 1 Mermaid without Sentinel or Core, and you reveal one of them, put it into your hand, and shuffle the deck. If you choose to not reveal one, you countercharge it back. So in things like Highlander, for example, it just becomes your kind of like in-archetype shuffle, which is actually really, really cool, and I think is like fairly interesting in terms of finding things like Pulse Sisters and other targets. There you go, yeah, going to call straight to back row. Want to play around that damage denial. Oh, suddenly going to be going for those names. Going to be going Energy Blast 3. There you go. And he's going to say, he's going to draw a card. And at the end of the battle, he's going to get to bounce a Franchet off of the Ace unit. Actually, that's a clear 15. Yeah, so each one of these is a 10k shield, which, again, flashback to last year, is just not that common in Standard. Dago's going to take the first damage. Unfortunately, really unfortunately, that's not going to be a defensive.